Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
And I'm your co-host, Ian.
This podcast was created to provide you, our heroes, with new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
We hope to provide you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
We hope to inspire. Jesus, dude, you've been on the show for like 80 episodes.
Hey, why don't you take
Actually, 100 episodes.
Why don't you take a sugar frost?
Oh, wait,
off the end of my dick.
We have to take away all the ones he wasn't here, so like 5. But still, 5 episodes, you should have gotten it. Right?
I hate you.
Want to try again?
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
As some of you may have figured out by now, our show is not suitable for young children, but neither is our D&D games.
I love that we can't even get to the opening before we even get to the warning. Thank you guys for joining us today here at the Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your rolls don't matter.
Yep, that's right. You're like a barbarian without the rage.
We got a really great show for you guys today. I'm really excited about discussing 50 Shades of Rage. I love the Barbarian, and people always ask me why. Well, this is why. So, our main topic, 50 Shades of Rage. Now, I found this article while doing my normal D&D Google Foo, and it's by Neil Litherland. There's a link right in our show notes. I'll probably post it right in the chat here for you guys too if you want to follow along and discuss.
I'm not sure he ever leaves. Taylor's always here. He gets what he pays for.
So there, I added the link to the 50 Shades of Rage. We're going to talk on this because I'm really excited about this. Anybody that listens to the show knows that I absolutely love the Barbarian. The Barbarian, in my opinion, is one of the most flavorful classes you can have because there's no limit to how you can flavor them. Well, apparently Neil agrees because he wrote 50 different ways to reflavor the rage mechanic. And it's only flavor. It doesn't change anything mechanically and all that stuff, but it's a way to make your Barbarian feel unique, fresh, and awesome.
I see what you did
God.
there, Ian. That's great. Yeah, if anyone loves flavor, it's Justin.
Oh, God dang it, people. Tate's like, not enough preparation H to get rid of him. Yeah, I know. I've tried. Nope. I've tried preparation A through Z, in fact. He's still here. So we're going to talk on just a few of these, as well as on our show notes. We've went ahead and added our own different flavors that we've used throughout our games that we want to kind of share with you. Brandon, why don't you tell us about the first one and why you picked it?
I chose the first one here is Forces of Chaos. Most barbarians are a whirlwind of fury. You are a storm. Chaos beats in your soul, and it manifests when you fight. You are unpredictable, and the Chaos Totem Rage powers can bring across how you rage can warp probability around you.
I'd like to point out that this was made before 5th edition, so it references I probably 3.5, I think.
Yeah.
Or something else. So keep that in mind, yeah.
And I'll admit, this one is probably what a lot of people have in mind when they think rage anyway, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I like that it talks about a whirlwind of fury and you are a storm. That really is closest to, I think, of all the ones we picked, is closest to the traditional kind of what you're saying, where it's just an anger. But this one kind of reminds me of like somebody who doesn't really run in and charge angrily, but just swings wildly and does more. It's like unloading a Tommy gun. You just unload and hopefully a few of the loose bullets hit.
Spray and pray.
Yes, spray and pray. Thank you. That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Or releasing the Tasmanian Devil.
Ooh, I like that. Like literally spinning in circles really fast in a dervish of assaulting attacks. Man, that's awesome. The next one we have here is Hatred. Now this one's another one that's pretty close. This is there is something awful lurking inside of you. See, that kind of gives me the warlock feeling, right? A force of anger so pure that has become condensed hatred, and you suckle on it, nurse it, and draw the strength from it.
Wow.
But how long will it be until that toxic power twists you into a dark reflection of who you once were? So I like this one because it talks about how your character is changing as you rage and as you fight. So I can totally see at the beginning of a campaign having a character who's kind of nonchalant and chill, but as the campaign goes on and the more he rages, he starts to get like short-tempered and get kind of twitchy and kind of snaps at everyone randomly. So I like this one because it kind of shows a big push towards character behavior changes, and I like that.
God, your future is.
That's a good one in the Anakin, right? He starts off one way, but as he pulls on the power of the dark side, he goes from making sense to slaughtering children.
I saw the
Okay.
was
Or a certain character in a certain show may or may not have went full Targaryen.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Game of Thrones reference.
Oh, well, I don't get it.
No, I saw a sketch on Robot Chicken where he's at that moment where he's gonna kill the kids, but he's having thoughts in his head. So it's like, oh, how am I gonna do this? So he pretends that they're sunflowers. The problem is that when he's doing it, he snaps and he just goes insane. And Padme comes home when he gets home. Padme comes home. It's like, oh hey Padme, I have some fresh cut sunflowers on the table for you.
Oh,
She goes, oh thanks. She walks in, you hear her scream because they're just little kids' heads.
Oh no, that's so horrible.
Oh, that's horrible.
Brandon, you want to tell us about the next one?
Child of Heavens.
The Child of Heavens.
Did we skip
No.
that one?
Oh,
You did skip
I did
one.
skip that one. My bad. Yeah. Go ahead and take Child of Heavens there.
Child of Heavens, angels are beautiful and terrible creatures. If one let even a few drops of its celestial blood into your family, then you might find it make itself known in strange ways. If you take a trait like Sacred Touch,
Oh.
that could
Don't worry about the specifics of the flavor that it talks there for the combat.
put its flavor.
But it's specifically calling out mechanics, isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay, whatever. Go ahead.
If you take a trait like Sacred
Oh,
Touch,
never mind.
It literally says straight.
I've
Yes,
been proud
that's
after that.
I like this because it talks about a divine ancestor, right? This kind of reminds me of like the traditional Zeus nailed abroad, and now you've got a demigod,
Zeus nailed it broad.
like a demigod, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
what this kind of reminds me of.
Only Zeus didn't stop at humans.
I think this is really cool because this is something you could easily flavor. Like if the forces of chaos is like Dervish in the spinning Tasmanian devil combat, and the hatred, when you rage draws like your eyes red or something. With Child of Heaven, I can see like an inner glow coming out of you, or maybe you get these phantom celestial wings that sprout from your back. Or maybe your eyes just glow, or your tattoos light up like fucking the Airbender guy, the Avatar,
Aang?
Avatar.
Aang, yeah, where you get this golden glow that starts radiating from your body when you rage. That's really cool because that's not something anyone's gonna. Is he glowing?
Did he just go Super Saiyan?
He just went Super Saiyan, right? Next thing you know, he's gonna have crackling energy and he's gonna have spiky hair, golden hair, which really could be a thing. There's no reason why you couldn't include that in your rage description. In fact, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, is going Super Saiyan. Thank you very much for jumping ahead of me. Where I've actually done that when we were at that game at the what is the name of that place?
Jaspers.
No, the tabletop place in Davison.
Oh.
Cards.
Card Table Republic.
Card Table Republic. I went basically. I played a barbarian who basically he was really calm, and then he like powered up, and you saw crackling energy leaping across his body. His hair flickered into a golden light, and he was essentially a Super Saiyan when he raged. He couldn't fly or shoot fireballs, but man, it sounded badass, didn't it? So this kind of reminds me of that whole demigod thing with the glowing aura.
Tater says, forget the flavor and go right to the meat and potatoes.
I forgot to say
If
that.
they were
didn't I?
glowing, maybe they're just pregnant.
You're beautiful. You're glowing, baby.
There's a couple comments I almost made. I'm like, no, I know better.
Alicia says spoiler alert. Who spoiled something?
We were talking about Game of Thrones, and she's like,
I kept it vague.
It's funny too because someone at work was watching that during lunch, and it was like in season 1. It's like, is that Game of Thrones? I said, yeah. I started watching. It's like, have fun with that show.
Ian, do you want to take the next flavor, please?
Meditative Fury. Some barbarians howl and snarl because becoming little more than savage animals. Others, though, attack in complete silence. They show no sign of pleasure or pain, sliding down their foes with the unsettling quiet of a well-oiled machine.
I like this one. I could totally see me taking a background or something that gives me stealth, and tying that into my background, where you show no roaring, no sign that you have any emotion at all. Kind of like Anakin's cutting down children.
Either that or go to your happy place.
You go to your happy place.
You go to a happy place, wake up, and there's dead people around you.
Oh no!
It's like, oh no, what happened?
Oh, that's cool. Maybe you go into like the Zen-like state, and the combat ends, you actually don't remember exactly what happened. That might be interesting. Once you enter combat, you become this honed killing machine, and then you snap out of it, and it's corpses everywhere.
That's sexy.
Of course, if
That
you died
sounds
like that,
sexy.
you would die in a very bad situation. Like, how did I get here? I've blacked out. So this is really cool because this reminds me more like the well-focused, harnessed energy in the increased precision on your strikes as opposed to just wild, madly swinging. And I really like that shit. Who fucked up my headset? I'm gonna kick your ass. I got it. It's good.
I think your splitter messed it up.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. We got one. I think it's raining really,
That's
really
rain.
hard.
Yeah.
That's
Tin
great.
roof, you can hear it clear as day in here.
Oh, wow. We forgot to give away a prize.
How did we forget that? That's like how we start off every show. It's because Brandon's not in charge. I forgot because I'm not pushing the buttons. You are. Let's go ahead and do that right now. We every episode we like to start off on a high note. We do that by giving away fat loots, compliments
Yes.
of goblin stuff.
Motherfucker.
And we're going to have to edit this back to the beginning.
Each
Yeah, I
episode,
will.
we
It's
will
fine.
draw one lucky subscriber's name, and they will win the 5-star rated adventure, Banquet of the Damned.
You know what I want to do?
Compliments
I told you
of
before I
Goblin
want to put
Stone.
like a video or something
Goblin
out or
Stone is a
image up.
community project for D&D
when that's
fans
live.
based out of the UK. They aim to be a place where you can team up with professionals to turn your ideas into high-quality products and give every fan a chance to get published. Be sure to head over to www.goblinstone.com, or you can check out our fellowship link on our website, www.critacademy.com.
Ian, who's our winner today?
Our winner today is R. Marbach. Wow, that rain's coming down loud.
Holy shit. Oh no.
Yeah.
The roof of my car leaks.
Oh no, I'm gonna turn down our audio so it doesn't pick it up as much. In the hopes. Okay, that'll have to work.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that's bad. All right. Congratulate. What's his name? I wasn't paying attention at all.
R. Marbach.
Congratulations, R. Marbach. You are this week's winner. We hope you enjoy the adventure. If you do, please leave Goblinstone a review. All right, back to the show. The next one we have is the totemic tattoo. Totemic.
Yep, totemic.
Totemic
Totemic.
tattoo. You have been marked by the forces beyond yourself. Whether you are tattooed in a ceremony that made you an adult, or you were born with a strange birthmark, you have been marked with power. The scarred. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. This actually is probably closer to the Avatar reference.
Yeah.
Than before, though I think both kind of fit. You got a tattoo. Like who's that show that the Moana? That guy's
Oh,
got
yeah.
that like twisting and moving tattoo. Maui. Maybe when you're fighting, your tattoo is like a dragon that wraps around you and comes to life during your fights.
Or starts glowing. That's cool, too.
Or glows. Yeah, I mean, glowing's cool, but I already used that reference, so I needed something else.
Still using it.
I like the idea that if the tattoo had like two opposing forces on it, and they're battling while you're raging. Like you got the giant snake or a dragon tattoo that's fighting like a knight, and when you rage, their energy surges through you, and I just think that could be so cool. Or maybe it's something that evolves over time. Maybe it starts off as like an egg, and when you rage, the tattoo breaks open, and this dragon expands, kind of like who's that crappy DC Iron Fist, where he's got the big tattoo on his chest.
That's Marvel.
Oh, is it? Wow. It was so bad I forgot. It knocked me out of the wrong into the wrong company.
Or or as you level up, the tattoo like grows.
Ooh.
You
As
know
you
what?
get stronger, so it starts off as like a single image on your shoulder, and then by the time you're level 20, it's encoded your whole body.
It just branches out.
Oh, that's
Severed.
awesome.
You know what I think would be great?
Hmm.
Is if you got the tribal tattoos and everything going on, and you have tattoos of specific weapons around your arm, right? And when you rage, depending on how you feel, one specific weapon will light up, and you can grab it off your tattoo, and it pulls into the material realm. But when you're done raging, it disappears and reappears back on your arm.
Well, we're supposed to be flavoring, so if it's a mechanical benefit, but I think you can work with the DM to make that work.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a mechanical
That'd be
change
awesome.
you'd have to do too. But I love the idea that you have like you're a master of weapons, so you've got all these tattoos of these weapons, and when you pick one up and in rage, it glows. That's awesome. I love that. Very cool. Brandon, would you like to tell us about Born Under a Bad Moon?
There are those who believe the alignment of the stars and planets at the time of your birth lay out a path for you, for all of us. Those born under ill tidings, like blood moons and lunar eclipses, may have dark fates awaiting them and dark powers to match.
Ooh, I like that. So this one is kind of cool. Maybe you were born under like a bad sign or the star and the planets and
Or blood moon.
or yeah, okay. So how would you reflect that from a role play flavor?
Hey, you just might have bad luck, or people just hate you for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Like would there be a visual manifestation of your power when you rage? Do you howl at the moon? Maybe. Howl! That would be too close to werewolf. I think.
Werewolf of London.
But this is cool because your power comes from the alignment of the planets or the stars, and it gives you a very much an astral feel, like a space feel, which is kind of cool. That would be another one where I think you could do like if you had tattoos on your chest and like the stars all align, like you have a constellation on your chest and then it aligns a certain way,
Like the Big Dipper.
like the big. Well, I was thinking more like, did you watch the old Hercules Disney cartoon, where the moon, the skies are the planets were all aligning, and then a big beam of power comes through, something like that.
I was thinking Kenshiro from Visit the North Star, but okay.
Oh, that works. Oh, you know what you
Actually,
could do for this?
The Big Dipper could work too because its technical name is Ursa Major, which is a giant bear.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So-
works. So this could manifest its way as maybe your character does like a quick chant and this powerful moon kind of just spectral moon appears and radiates energy and then collapses into you or something. That'd be interesting. Which is kind of closer to our next one, which is our spiritual incantation. You keep your true power locked away inside, but you were taught how to let it out when you needed it to. By speaking a spiritual incantation, you let the power flow through you. While your transformation might not be as complete as, say, He-Man, the idea is very similar.
He-Man!
It's morphing time?
Oh no! Best command words ever. Oh my god, that would be hilarious rage. It's morphing time, and then you shout out a wild like power in the universe. This is cool. So I was gonna talk about this later, but I might as well get into it now. If you guys remember, if you listen back to previous episodes, back in I don't remember the episode where we had reskinning topic. Our buddy Troy reflavored the Barbarian to harness like the powers of his ancestors. So you saw these giant spectral forms of his ancestors, of these powerful creatures who then lent their assistance to him. I think the one he had was Barut. So when he would use Thunderclap or Thunderwave, Barut was like an armor smith. So this giant anvil appeared, and he would slam it on the hammer on the anvil, and it would send out this shockwave. And that was kind of him controlling his magic through his ancestors. So this rage could be the same.
And then he was when the actual Ancestral Barbarian came out. It was the same thing.
Well, yeah, and so his
Yeah, that was cool.
so his actual, and I apologize, Troy, if I get it wrong completely, but his character, when he would rage, because he was like a barbarian, so his magic was his ancestors using stuff, but he would summon forth the oh shit, what was his name? Hang on, I actually wrote it down. Here it is. This is actually my version of it, but it's okay. Anyways, so he had this. His rage was where he would call forth Amon Voldur, the first warrior king of the Volsung Empire. And it would basically, rush into him, and he would have this power. When I played it before, I treated it like the old Shaman King. Did you ever see that?
No.
In Shaman King, he makes pacts with spirits. And so when I played out this character, he held up his hand, and the spirit coalesced into a ball of energy, and then he put his hand in and shoved it into his chest, and then you saw this flicker of the spiritual kind of armor overlapping my character that looked like this ancient king. And so that's kind of what the spiritual flavor reminds me of, which was just dope as hell. And I know when I was really giddy about it when Troy first brought it on because it made me really excited to play it.
Element. The first chant that came to mind actually was, who else in the 13th Warrior?
I have not seen it.
That's a what? That is the most fantabulous movie you'll ever see.
It's a Viking movie starring Antonio Banderas.
I
Oh my
see.
god, it's amazing.
But you know what shit I'm talking about then, right? I was talking to
know it.
Brandon.
Oh.
I think so.
Like, lo there do I see my father, as they give like a death chant, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yes, where they meet them in Valhalla. God,
Yeah.
So you actually mentioned the Valhalla thing. The other thing that makes this really cool is that you can.
See, Savret says it's pretty good.
Yeah, I will try to watch it if someday when I have
'cause
time.
I have a
people-
copy.
Most people have seen it.
Well, sorry, I don't. I think it actually is on Netflix.
It's one of those movies where the reviewer said it was crap, but everybody know who watched it, so it was great.
Right. Brandon, would you like to tell us about the Righteous Fury?
Righteous Fury. This is no greater. Damn it! There is no greater rush of power than the feeling of righteous fury. When it's in the service of a cause or extraction, well-deserved vengeance, a barbarian
You really need to.
or extract.
You messed up like 5 words
Exacting?
in that line.
Maybe
Yes, it's exact. It's
To be fair, it's misspelled.
Yeah, I
exacting.
know.
Extracting. Way to go! Setting me up
It's
for failure
exacting.
again.
That's not my fault. Whatever. I copy and pasted that, which means it's typed wrong. Go ahead.
Whether it's in the service of a cause or exacting well-deserved vengeance, a barbarian who feels he's in the right is nearly impossible to stop.
He's a holy juggernaut, bitch. This is cool because usually this is kind of the paladin shtick.
Gonna smack your ass.
And you can be that holy juggernaut without being a paladin, and I think that's an awesome flavor. Once again, this kind of comes back to the maybe the golden energy around the character, or maybe a halo appears above his head when he rages. We love Halo. Remember that?
Yes.
When we got Halo 2 as kids, we actually were singing "We love Halo" the whole drive home. It was hilarious. We're so stupid. Anyways, I like this one because do you guys ever play Fable? In Fable, when you become really good and you start walking, not only do you get a halo, but like fucking flowers sprout behind you in your footsteps. And I think that would be just awesome flavor when you rage. Like little, flowers are left in your footprints while you're spilling the blood of your enemies to feed them. Anyways, I like the idea of the halo. It fits, or angelic wings kind of surrounding your characters. Pretty cool.
I love the realism of that game too, because for the longest time I was eating food to gain health so I wouldn't die,
You got fat, didn't you?
and I got really fat, and I was like, okay, I'll just eat the celery because it makes you get skinny. And then I realized that when you go to the market, you can buy 1 celery stalk a week. It's like, oh, this reflects exactly how a freaking diet works.
Oh, that's funny. So overall, this whole entire product that he made is just
I
fantastic.
can't live this. Get stronger.
One of the best lines is the 13th Warrior.
You give the man a sword and he makes a knife.
When you die, can my wee daughter have it?
Yeah. The thing is, they're all Vikings, but they need a 13th warrior for their crusade that they're doing, and he's just this Arabian scholar.
Who happened to be standing right there at the time when the prophecy was given.
Yeah, and he happen to be there. So they're like, okay, we're going to defend this place, and they give him like this giant broadsword. He's like, I can't lift it, and it's like, get stronger. It's like, is there a blacksmith here? It's like, yeah, over there. So he takes it over there and he makes a scimitar out of it. It's smaller, lighter weight, and they say, you give the man a sword and he makes a knife.
The one thing I wanted to talk about, and you guys seen Luke Cage, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your rage is
Sweet Crispus, yes.
your rage is a result of some sort of experimentation from some wizards, or some other sort of magic people, because they just do all kinds of crazy shit. And so what happens is, ever since you got out of this experiment, which was probably torturous and absolutely pain and suffering, but now when you get out of it, you found that you can tap into an inner energy. Maybe like first thing that comes to mind to me is Guy in Rock Lee from Naruto, where he can tap into like the chakra energies and release it and get a short burst of power, but potentially can kill him. And so having access to this power as a result of experimentation could be really fun too. But there's a lot here. Like I said, Neil has done 50 of these things. We're not going to go through all of them, but I definitely recommend checking it out. It really shows you the extensive versatility of the fighter, or not the fighter, the barbarian. The things I want to talk about are some of the instances that I've actually reflavored it to be completely different. Couple examples I talked about already, like the Shaman King reference with the spirit bonding, holding out my hand and my ancestral spirits, forming in it and shoving it into my character's body and getting this kind of battle aura kind of going on. Another thing that I really like is I'm a big fan of the Stormlight Archive series. So one of the ways I've manifested my energy is that my character wore an amulet that literally radiated with the power of thunderstorms. And he would take a deep breath and he would breathe the energy in. This would represent the limited storage because it would run out and it would recharge overnight. Now, technically, it wasn't a magic item. It was just flavor. But he would breathe it in, and you would see this wisps of blue, light blue, almost like a light glowing smoke that he'd breathe in through his mouth. And then his whole body, he'd breathe it out, and it would surround his whole body. And you would see, like, this glowing, wispy smoke radiating off his body while he was raging. It enhanced his strength, it enhanced his speed, it enhanced his defenses, everything. And that's kind of like the Knight's Radiance in the Stormlight Archives, where they can take in this storm energy and it enhances all their features. And I absolutely loved it, and its flavor was glorious.
That sounds pretty.
It's awesome. I love it. I even had it to the point where when they first say certain oaths, these sigils pop up around them in like this crystallized form. When he first channels it, it's fantastic. It's pretty awesome.
Or, it was before, Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan's cool, man, but nothing like fucking awesome Stormlight. Of course, Super Saiyans are almost permanently strong.
Yeah.
Not so much like a rage.
I like one, Brand. Let's lose the mighty warthog. Yes, thanks, Tater.
The other thing I really wanted to talk about was our symbiote. In my opinion, that is one of the best examples I think we've had of reflavoring. There's a link in our show notes, and I'm going to go ahead and actually link it to everyone here, so you guys can have it on our Twitch channel here.
I still laugh at the fact that how people complained about how, quote, broken it was.
Yes.
It was like, and like, all we did was, well, all you did was you just took a character, multi-classing between barbarian and fighter,
So
and that was it.
Yeah, and so here's the so I put together this. This looks like some sort of legal document, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it looks like something that Watsu would release. Obviously, I've been releasing stuff on DM's Guild, so I was able to create this. This was actually one of my first creations. But I basically went through all the features and I multi-classed a Barbarian 5 up to level 20 with 15 fighter, and I reflavored everything. For example, the rage is called the symbiotic form. Your symbiote bursts from within your flesh and encases your body, enhancing our offensive and defensive capabilities. On our turn, we can enter symbiotic form as a bonus action. While in our symbiotic form, we gain the following benefits. And it goes on to explain the specs and everything, and it goes beyond that. What are other things that the barbarian can do? We had the symbiotic bond. Our bond is reinforced our natural abilities. While we are not wearing armor, our armor class is 10, which is basically the unarmored defense. And so I went through this whole thing and reflavored everything to fit the symbiotic theme, and it was so well done that people were losing their shit over how unbalanced it was, and it wasn't tested, and blah, 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 blah.
It's not a real thing.
And I'm just thinking,
yeah.
motherfuckers, it's literally a level 5 barbarian, 15 fighter.
This is
Yeah.
straight from the player's handbook.
It really was.
And people were losing their shit.
Which tells you people will complain about anything.
Well, and that I also described the stuff pretty differently.
And what makes it even worse is you even reference the
Oh, yeah, the
handbook and
document.
the document for each thing.
Literally in the beginning, it says, thank you for checking out this product, blah, blah, blah. We did this. So instead, we redesigned a homebrew class from scratch, and we thought it'd be best to reflavor an existing legal build. So that's the beauty of it. You can use it in any game. So this was one of the big things. I've shared it in the chat. I think some people just joined, so I'll go ahead and do it again.
Which was great because we had Olivia's fiance over, and he played the symbiote,
Oh my god.
and he wrecked that shit
Like a boss.
He did such a good job, but ended up like going after this kid to eat her or something.
Well, the family were cannibals, so he was trying to leverage that eater, but he basically was so evil the players turned against him. The problem is they were
Oh,
all
yeah.
out of resources. You guys had no spells, no nothing, and he's
Yeah.
a barbarian raging.
I
and you're
attempted
just like,
one thing. It was like sleep or something, and it failed. I went, well, I'm done. Bye.
and you guys ran away.
Just took off.
So now that player's character is stalking the forest. Well, anyways, and this our build of the symbiote really shows just how much flexibility the barbarian has in the flavor, and you can do so much with it. And so when you're creating your barbarian, the rage, think about what makes you happy, what type of character you like to play, and try to make it feel unique and fleshed out, even by a simple description of lightning bouncing around your body when you do it.
Why am I thinking about Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins, even though he's not a rager at all?
I don't even know who that is. Is that the second season?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not there yet.
In fact, that actually was a huge plot point. He doesn't get angry in one episode.
Got it.
Because he went up against an enemy who paralyzes people that feel wrath against them.
Why
Why are you still moving? Because I don't feel wrath towards you. Because you're weaker than me.
That's funny. Do you guys have any other ideas or things you would do to reflavor the barbarian's rage?
I mean, as we saw in the document, there are 50 items, and it's actually surprisingly comprehensive. It even covers sci-fi stuff in there,
Right.
for Pete's sakes. And we only scratched the surface.
Oh, there was one other thing I want to talk about. Did you guys ever watch the old show Mummies Alive?
Yes.
For those of you who have not seen it, it's hilarious because they all go with the strength of Raw, and then they grab onto their amulets, and like this crackling energy appears around them, and then they shoot it out from their body. I think the one I'm thinking of is the snake. It shoots out from his body, turns back, coils around him, and then creates like a temporary armor, like a Power Ranger.
But the same, like Power Rangers.
It's exactly like Power Rangers. So that's a really cool way to do it. And having a cool line when you trigger it is awesome and adds a lot of flesh. Like when I was playing my Symbiote, I don't remember my Razor, I think Rancor. When he would transform, he would just say, "We are Rancor," because that was kind of the Venom shtick, right? When you do that, consider come up with a one-liner. So you don't you don't like I don't want to give any crap to Critical Role, but he says, I would like to rage. That's his shtick. Come up with your own shtick. Even if it's a big tree trunk and you have to beat people with your shtick.
Even if it's you taking a syringe.
Ooh. That's another one. That's a good one.
Yep.
Having like a drug or something you take temporarily to boost yourself. Troy did something, the ticket is. Funny, Sarah.
Well, that's what I represent when I yelled spoon. So.
Got ya. Troy actually played a barbarian, that drunk barbarian who would drink. I think it was a barbarian. Yeah, he would drink like a super ale that made him even super strong or whatever, more tipsy or whatever, and he would beat people up.
Or snack on some shrooms.
Any sort of drug probably works. Sniffing some white powder. It's just sugar, but it gives me a sugar rush, which is literally one of the characters in My Hero Academia. He eats candy and he gets super strong. His ability, I think his character is Sugar Rush. Have you seen that?
That's what his powers call it.
Oh, his power is called Sugar Rush. So you can really do whatever you want with this. That's awesome. I'm playing that next time I play.
Freak out.
Fucking eat a kobold like. I think that'll do it for our main topic today. 50 Shades of Rage. Once again, in our show notes, you'll find the article by Neil Litherlands, and check it out. There's so much you can do with it. Barbarians are an amazingly flexible class. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's fantastic.
They may be beat sticks, but they're really good at it.
Before we move on to our Unearthed tips and tricks, we have another gift to give away. Compliments of Loresmith.
Each episode, we will draw another lucky subscriber's name, and they will win the best-selling adventure, The Claws of Madness. Compliments of Loresmith. Loresmith is a small indie team of creative
backers.
artists who remember exploring the realms together with friends, finding incredible places, and meeting colorful characters along the way.
Is that
They
you?
set out to
Yes.
deliver an experience that sparks those lasting impressions that pushed them to create their first standalone adventure, The Claws of Madness. This best-selling adventure is one that you don't want to miss.
Brandon, who's our winner today?
Our winner is Sheen RL0119.
You have to hit the applause button.
Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Oh, shit. My chair's broken again. Whoa.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding.
I'm good, everyone. It's fine. Look at watch me fall.
Delays for the win. Yeah, the wheel fell off your chair.
That's funny.
You might want to fix that now before you fall over.
Oh no, I'll be all right. I can trust in myself to keep my balance.
I
Oh,
don't.
No, Tater won't make the next one. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss you.
I don't trust you, and I'm next to you.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Says I won't be able to make it because I'm really getting old.
That's
Are
as
you,
far as
are
it
you
can
saying
go.
you're gonna?
The next Patreon pals you can't make it.
you're
Yeah, I
gonna-
can
you're-
see that.
Are you saying you're gonna die by next next time? I'd hope not.
Congratulations, Shishnir, or what is it? What did you call it?
Shishin.
Shishinir.
Shishin RL.
0119.
Yeah.
There you go. We hope you enjoy the adventure. If you do, please make sure to leave Loresmith a review and tell him what you thought of the product. Our first Unearthed tips and tricks did I add that yet?
What?
The Unearthed tips and tricks thing.
And now,
God damn it, I
what
got
you've
one
all
fucking
been
job. I
waiting
can't do it.
for. Our Unearthed Tips and Tricks segment, where we bring you new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
I'm kidding. It was planned. Come on.
It was planned. Yeah, bullshit.
I'm on it. I'm really excited. For our first character concept, we have a touch of madness. And actually, this idea partially comes from 50 Shades of Rage. There's something not quite right about this character. Some say you hear voices, or often talking to yourself. Sometimes you forget your own name, or you become another person entirely. As long as your madness keeps you safe and doesn't harm your companions, you're likely to be accepted, for the time at least. Brandon, you've ran a character like this, didn't you? That was crazy, and you rolled a d20 or something to determine whether they were in a good mood or a bad mood or something?
Yes, it was a. What was that race? The really big guys.
It's literally written
Goliath?
in your note.
It wasn't a Minotaur.
It was a Minotaur.
It was not a Minotaur.
Or was your minion a Minotaur? Your icon a Minotaur?
The icon was that. It wasn't a Minotaur. It was a Goliath Barbarian.
Okay.
And I'd roll a d20 once a day, and if it was above 10, the personality would completely change. It'd be someone different.
It was a real asshole, if I remember. Like, just wanting to kill everything, like a real barbarian.
Like one had Arnold's voice, and the other one was Sean Connery's
Yes.
voice. Something.
Yep.
One was a gentleman, one was not.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. I did something similar with my goblin barbarian. His name was Razu, and he really liked to talk to himself a lot. Actually, he talked to his brother. His brother was on his arm. His brother's skull was on his arm, like a kind of like a sock puppet or a ventriloquist, and he'd go like, "Yes, me and Zazu. Yes, Zazu. You're gonna help me?
I remember him.
Yes." And so the one Razu was really nice, but Zazu was a dickhead. He's like, "Oh yes, I can help." And when he would rage, Zazu would jump out, and he went from this really like kind of understandable and cute and kind of a nice one to, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why can't you hit them? Is that the best you got? I surround myself with fools." And there was this real back and forth between the two.
Go away and never come back. What'd you say?
It very much was inspired by Smeagol, Gollum. And so there's a lot you can do that. Gollum's a great example of that. And you can do this with any race. Specifically, we were barbarians, but it doesn't have to be. It can be anyone. I like the idea of having different spells and having a person that likes ice and then change personality to somebody who uses fire. And kind of, depending on the mood you're in, determines the types of spells you use, which I think could be really cool. What do you think, Ian?
How did we forget about Orson from Record of Lotus War?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good example of this, too. Do you want to elaborate for those who have not seen Record of Lourdes War?
Or?
Okay. Well, it's an anime based off a series of books, which is actually based on the actual D&D game. But the character Orson, he was basically he's in lore called a berserker, but he's actually possessed by a spirit of madness that occasionally takes over. Otherwise, it's a calm, quiet, reserved guy. So
I think that happens in Bleach, too. Ichigo Kurosaki Kuchigi. That's the enemy he was fighting. This almost sounds like a dirty word. Ichigo Kurosaki, when he's trying to tame the hollow within, and the hollow breaks out, he goes from this calm, collected fighter to this really let loose, wild personality. So, I think that. Go ahead.
So, it was funny. I only have one memory, one scene from Record of Lotus War that I can ever think of. And they were preparing for battle or something, and the dwarf is just sitting there, and he's whittling wood. And they're like, "Why aren't you getting ready?" "I'm making something." And just doing his things like, you know what, whatever. And that same person got in trouble. Like they were gonna get impaled by a goblin or an orc, and a bolt smacks the orc right in the forehead, and he drops down, and he looks back at the dwarf, and he holds up a crossbow that he made.
Out of a single little piece of wood, right?
It was, yeah.
That wasn't right there to Lourdes War.
Yeah, it
was. Okay.
Like, I'm making something.
I still laugh when he was training the main character in combat. You are so dumb you can't even kill time.
Hey, Handlin, Alicia says, like me when I'm hangry versus me with a cupcake.
Yes, I think we've established that Alicia is in fact not a barbarian, but a conquest paladin. But definitely she fits the touch of madness. I'm gonna pay for that later.
Yeah, you are.
I love you,
Reminds me
sweetheart.
of the Snickers commercials, too.
Yes, like that goes back to the sugar rush thing. Somebody, when you like rage, you can't break out of it. One of your allies brings you a candy bar. Come on, I hate it when you're not yourself. Eat this. Thank you.
But this game we're going to play the Joker. How about the Joker plays you?
That's funny.
I'm totally picturing the one with the Brady Bunch. They replaced Marsha with the Danny Trejo.
That's funny. Excuse me, I yawned. That's horrible.
weakness,
All right, I think that'll do it for our character concept, A Touch of Madness. Our monster... yeah, Alicia Tater says, with a weakness for cupcakes. Yeah, cupcakes are literally my wife's kryptonite. Like, I can have her literally eating out of my hand when I bring her home cupcakes. The problem is I never remember to do that, so she's really just hangry most of the time. I love you.
Say, you're definitely paying for that there.
Our monster variant of the podcast is the Cyclops Storm Shaman. The origin monster for this is the Etin, and you lose 2 features, 2 heads and wakeful. But you gain even cooler features. The first feature you gain is called Storm Burst. A 10-foot radius of crackling lightning and storm clouds extends out from the Storm Shaman. The lightning and clouds spreads around corners, and its area is heavily obscured, and it lasts for 1 minute. Any creature that starts its turn in the area must make a DC con save, taking lightning damage. The target can take either an action or a bonus action on its turn, not both. And it can't take reactions on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. So basically, that creates this cloud of power that's basically stunning the players that are in it, preventing them from getting multiple actions, making them much more less action
Action-packed.
That's not the word I'm looking for. They lose a lot of action economy that way. What do you guys think about that ability? First off.
First
I would-
off, I'm replying to chat.
I would hate to get stuck in it.
Yeah.
That just...
That's
I mean, I like the idea of having a surprise when you're fighting a special enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know what's going to happen. And then you get this crippling come out, and you're like, oh, fuck, I can't move.
Well, and it makes it worse, too, because it's not only does it stun you, and potentially not stun, that's a bad word because that's actually a condition and it doesn't give that condition, but not only does it cause you to lose some of your action economy, but it also makes it hard to see.
And you take lightning damage.
And I mean, it's a real cluster F of destroying your party. That's not the worst of it. It gets
Really? Really?
A real fuster
Really?
cluck.
I censored
A
myself.
really
didn't I?
cluster F. The first time in Crit Academy history you've ever just went, I'm not going to do it this time.
Accidents happen.
You just pulled a me.
The
Accidents happen.
the next feature that we have is the Evil Eye. The Storm Shaman targets one creature it can see within 30 feet, and if the target can see the Storm Shaman, it must succeed a Wisdom saving throw against this magic or take psychic damage, and gains the weakness to lightning for 1 minute, unless it is immune to lightning. If they have resistance, they lose it. The target repeats the saving throw at the end of their turns and becomes immune to the effects after that. So
That's brutal.
this is
the first feature.
this is a brutal combination because it's one of the few ways that I've built monsters to get around creatures with resistances. Because it takes away your resistances. So that lightning dragon, dragonborn, not gonna help.
Storm sorcerers.
Storm sorcerers have to. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty potent combination, which makes it perfect for a boss. The Etin is a lower CR monster, I think 3 or 4, I don't remember, but this makes a great boss, or even at higher levels, a minion or a mini boss.
Ettins. Proof that 2 heads are not better than 1.
But it's not an Etin, it's a Cyclops.
But you said it's based off an Etten, so
I did.
yeah.
Wah wah. Sorry, I ruined your good, perfectly timed joke. My bad. I'm sorry. What do you guys think about the? I mean, but what did you feel about running into something like this?
That would be awesome, and it would shuck. But we would talk about it afterwards.
I
That's
feel
true.
thankful that I'm a ranger.
I was gonna say, how would you overcome this challenge
By firing at it with Eldritch Blast from 1,000 feet away.
in heavily obscured area?
At disadvantage.
Okay, well, hope for the best, I suppose. I like this monster. I hope you guys do too. That is our monster variant of the day, the Cyclops Storm Shaman. Ian, would you like to tell us about our encounter?
Our encounter is the chromatic tiles, which are traps. The area is riddled with floor tiles that transform before your eyes. At times, each tile resembles stone that ripples like water, then transforms into jagged spikes of ice. That's right, ice. The tile then dances with a flame-colored mist that crackles before it grows into bolts of lightning. Real lightning.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
Whatever these tiles are, they appear to be rather unstable, shall we say. Setup. Each of these traps has 8 strategically placed tiles, and when a creature enters a tile space, a random element of energy lashes out and attacks. Also, when creatures are within 5 feet of the tiles, every so often a random tile erupts, spewing an area with hazardous elemental energy. And these traps also have 2 triggers and 2 attacks. Trigger number 1. When a creature enters a 5-foot area containing a tile, it makes a melee spell attack with +4 to hit, doing 2d6 of a random damage type. Lightning, thunder, cold, or fire.
Ooh.
Trigger number 2. Once a creature enters the area, roll initiative, suckers. Treating this trap as a lair action, acting on initiative 20, losing ties. On the trap's initiative count, a random elemental tile explodes
Uh-oh.
with chromatic energy. It casts Thunder Wave at the lowest level, but the damage type is random. Once again, lightning, thunder, cold, or fire. And, as players, what kind of countermeasures would you come up with? Dispel magic, maybe? Or perhaps trigger the effects by dropping a rock at it. Or maybe try to hop over them.
What do you guys think about this?
Is
You almost
Is
say it's
there-
very chaotic.
there a way through this without triggering anything?
You can fly.
Fly.
Okay, so you're in for
Grappling hook.
Grappling hook.
Austin.
Throwing a halfling.
you're in for a whole season of pain.
That's the meal of the day. Pain. I really like this one. Actually, the way it's laid out, it gives you a very specific number of tiles in this one. It says 8 strategically placed tiles. So depending on how big you make the hallway, you can change it.
I just pictured in my head, since Thunder was an option, and if you fail, you get knocked back.
Mhm.
Just being bounced around between all the tiles, but by them all going off.
Oh, yeah. I thought of that. That's why I changed that spell to Thunderwave. Because it could potentially knock you into another one and chain effect like a pinball.
Son of a boom, 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 boom. Ow.
You get to the end of the hallway. Ding, 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 ding.
What do we have for him, Johnny? Stretcher. I really like this encounter. This trap is really fun. There are ways around it. Once again, I call out specific number of tiles, the 5-foot square tiles. So depending on how big you decide you want the room for it to be, you can be in a round room, it can be in a hallway. However you decide to do it as the DM, that's up to you. Just simple checks, acrobatics checks to avoid them, but you'd have to identify them first. So pray God nobody just walks down the aisle without checking for traps. This one you actually make it obvious though. It's not like necessarily a hidden trap, though it could be. The idea is to make it visible, and then they got to try to come through it. What they won't know is that the shit explodes. At least not until somebody steps into it. Oh, man.
Roll for initiative.
Oh, no, Savret, that's harsh. Savret says, have one square be a chute that sends them back to the start. Oh, no. Like a teleporting pad or something. Or maybe just the exit is the teleporting pad. Like when you get it, no matter where they go, if they don't identify it, they step on it and just like you give them a symbol. Hey, there's the intricate teleportation circle at the beginning of this room. And then, oh, yeah, that's what it is. It doesn't seem to be active at the moment. First person gets up there and vanishes, guys, and he's right behind you.
you gotta flavor it with like fire or something like that just to make it look like they got vaporized.
Oh no, like
So they're
in
like, I don't know if I want to touch it because
Or red versus blue.
yeah, red versus blue. That shit happened where they throw the rock through the teleporter and then it
through the
comes out
teleporter?
burning black.
Get quick, get to the teleporter. I don't want to go through there. Oh, come on. All the rocks we put in there came out the other side. Yeah, but they were black. No, but
they
They're hot.
were all
Yeah, but they
covered
were-
in black stuff and steaming. So that's what you're afraid of. A little bit of black stuff and some steam.
yes.
You're a dick.
Then the guy runs through and then doesn't even come out at any reasonable time. He's like,
He appears
where'd
next
you
up. He appears next episode.
I was like,
funny.
like it afterwards. Like, Caboose, make sure you go through the teleporter. Okay. He runs off. He's like, does it hurt when you go through the teleporter? Oh yeah, a lot. He goes, ow!
You said it wouldn't hurt. You,
You
lied,
lied
to
to
me.
me.
Spoiler alert for a really, really old show.
Yeah, there's a spider on your camera.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There's a little tiny one running around it.
We'll have to take care of that.
I'm,
Bastard.
I'm waiting for it to get to the lens so it can look like a giant spider on the camera.
Alicia will fall out of her couch.
Dun 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 dun.
All right, that'll do it for our encounter of the podcast, the chromatic tiles. Brandon, would you like to tell about us our magic item this
I
week?
can tell us about our magic item this week. This weapon is attuned to the power of elemental air and awaken the air around it.
When it
When
strikes.
it strikes an enemy, yes. And giving... What the hell? Giving rise to gusts of wind that drive back the enemy, forcing them to give ground. Allow allies to gain ground.
You know, if you actually read this stuff out ahead of time,
I don't do that. I like to wing it.
yeah, it shows in your performance.
New performance.
That's what she said.
It is a polearm of the Wind Rider. Any two-handed reach weapon, very rare, and requires attunement. When you hit a creature with this weapon, you may cast the Gust spell as a bonus action. This weapon has 5 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast one of the following spells from it. The spell save DC for these spells is 14. You get Gust, so there's 1 charge. Gust of Wind, 2 charges. Warding Gust, 2 charges. And Fly, 5 charges.
That's warding wind, not warding gust, but okay.
Warding Wind, Gust of Wind.
Got ya.
Spell your shit right.
It says warding wind.
I don't know. The weapon regains 1d4 plus 1 charge daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the weapon becomes a non-magical weapon.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
That makes you be careful, because if you use Fly, then you might get screwed over.
You might lose a powerful item, yeah. First of all, my wife says I was attacked in a spider in the church bathroom today. That's horrible. Can you imagine taking a nasty dump and then a giant spider starting to crawl up your leg?
Yep.
That'd be terrifying.
Dun, dun, dun,
That
dun,
reminds
dun.
me of one time where Mom freaked out about there being a massive snake in the basement, and asked me to go take care of it. She freaked out, threw a bucket on it. I walked down there. It's only like this long.
It's a baby. What do you guys think about this magic item?
And it's like garter snake too on top of that. Those things are harmless.
No, it's a polearm of the Wind Rider. Oh, the snake.
I think it would be fun. Even the whole 1 on a d20 thing sounds fun.
Yeah.
Because that really makes you think it's like, oh, I can save my friend who is hanging from this cliff if I use Fly, but my weapon might break. Who's more important?
You're nicer than me. I'd be like, I'm not risking
knew
my
you were
weapon,
gonna
dude.
say that.
Sorry. Like, if I'm falling and then I gotta fly to save myself, okay, it's worth it. But anybody else, sorry, splat.
Or you can try to not persuade. What's the one where you lie?
Deception?
Deception, where you try to deceive your friend. It's like,
It's
hey,
not working.
would you come get me, please? Use Fly. I know you can use it. Like, and you're like, I used a charge already. I don't have enough charges.
Or accidentally sneeze and cast a charge. Sorry, I can't help you.
Or worse, just look down at him and use Gust of Wind on him. And just watch him fall. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I like this. This was very much inspired by one of the things I was reading. The wind something, I don't remember.
I'm actually surprised Feather Falls not one of the things on here.
Yeah, I wanted it to be more offensive stuff.
That's
though
fair.
the warding
That's
wind
fair.
is pretty defensive.
That's fair.
This is based off a 4E item. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's very fun. It's very cool, and I love that it's got a complete theme to it. And so you'll be seeing more and more of that stuff as I start to work my way through all the 4E stuff that I have. So,
Yay.
I find it hilarious that a lot of people crapped on 4E, but as one of my friends pointed out, he actually read a lot of articles online about guys who bashed out in the past, they revisit it and like, huh? Actually, now that I actually play this, it's actually pretty good.
That's because some people are just on a hate bandwagon, because that's what people do. That's why we
Okay.
have
Although to be fair,
hate mongers.
during the initial release, there was some issues.
Yeah, like they reiterated like skill challenges like 5 times.
Well, what wasn't even that? I remember when it first came out. I'm like, I want to play a barbarian. They don't have barbarians. What do you mean there's no barbarian? They introduced that in Player's Handbook 2.
Yeah. I really like this magic item, and I hope you guys do too. That'll do it for our magic item, the pole arm of the Wind Rider.
Pole arm.
And now for the Dungeon Master's tip.
Use your Heraldric Cube.
Our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast is Deceitful Potions. This comes from Ragnarokar from Game Master Stash.
That just sounds horrible.
Now, at a shop, you might have potions labeled or put into specific containers, but in the home of a paranoid criminal or in a villain's lair, the labels might not be there or might not be right. Everyone knows to check unknown potions before drinking them. But who's going to test something that says health potion on it? In a heart-shaped vial. If every health potion they have drank so far looks the same. This way, you get your players thinking about loot, not just what it can do for them, but about who it belonged to first. Also, if your players don't drink the potions right away, and they get them mixed in with their other ones, who knows what kind of mischief this would cause.
I remember that one time where in that one game, we went to that one alchemist shop,
Mm-hmm.
and he had experimental potions.
Yeah.
I bought what I thought was... Someone bought what we thought was alchemist fire. It turned out that stuff was freaking Greek fire.
It was Greek fire, which doesn't go out, like, not very easily.
And the stuff where you add more water to it, the bigger it gets.
Well, no, it can't be put out. It really just keeps burning, to my understanding. Is that what it was?
Pretty
And
much.
You guys burnt something down, didn't you?
An inn.
Yeah, because you figured you were trying to use it for something else, and then it just wouldn't go out. So I like this because that would, if you really wanted to kill heroes that just are adventurers who are always looting shit, just mix a box of potions together. Misidentify them. When was the last time as a player you says, I'd like to test this potion?
Never.
No, the DM tells you, hey, look, you got a health potion. All the DM has to do is change it subtly and
It
say,
looks like a
it
health
looks
potion."
like a health potion.
And every time they drink a potion, the DM rolls behind the screen.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's glorious. And I like the idea that if they just mix it in and don't think about it, oh, they got 4 potions, well, oh, they're taking a potion when it lands on a 4. Oh, it's a 4. Oh, you keel over and start vomiting and diarrhea of the ass. You're not doing too well.
And there's a red liquid.
Ooh, gross.
This is not as bad as like earlier editions when they actually made you pay for it if you drank a lot of potions in quick succession.
Right, right.
You got that right.
What?
I made a reference to the malady.
Oh, yeah, the bleeding assholes. Yeah,
The
you're
red
right.
liquid, yellow liquid.
Yeah, that's funny. I think what's really
Well
cool
played.
about this is there is a like a mix chart in the DMG that the DM can use as like a reference for accidental exposure to stuff. So you can have a lot of fun with this. And honestly, I think I'm gonna do this now.
There is a movie that is completely based around this DM tip.
Really? What's that one?
The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
A llama?
look at that.
He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
They gave him the
Let me
wrong
see that
mixture, right?
vial.
This isn't poison, it's extract of llama!
In my defense, you should really consider relabeling your potions.
Oh, that's hilarious. That would be a great adventure thing.
I will turn him into a flea, and I'll put him in the box, and I'll put that box in a bigger box, and I'll mail it to myself, and I'll smash it with a hammer! Or this time on postage, I'll just poison him with this.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Do you guys have any other tips on this?
No.
This is an awesome tip. This is our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast, Deceitful Potions by Ragnarokar from Game Master Stash. Our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by
Rage transformations.
So we talked a lot about reflavoring your rage, but we didn't talk about what kind of flavor visuals you can give it from mechanical changes. So
Barbecue.
jeez. So as we discussed, all the different flavors that your rage can have from a story point of view is but something else that you could consider really doing to amp it up is consider physical changes your character might undergo. There's one really big, great example of this. Do you guys know what it is?
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash. The Hulk is a great example. You can play a human and have them change into this big hulking beast when they rage. Or maybe you're a half-orc, but that part of your orc is really subtle and you look human until you rage, and then you buff up and you get big burly arms, big giant tusks that grow, and you become a big green monster. Or something. You guys seen Hellboy?
Yep.
When he gets into hell and his horns finally grow. Maybe something like that. If you're a tiefling, maybe when you rage, your horns grow significantly bigger or look completely different.
And your eyes just catch on fire.
Or your eyes catch on fire. There you go. There's another good one.
I'm gonna rage.
Our symbiote reflavor is kind of like this, where we talk about the physical change your character undergoes. What are some other ways you guys could flavor that? Oh yeah, I got it here. That if the tiefling horns grow and then a crown of flames appears when he rages, right?
Yep.
Because that's what madness ability does, something like that. How would you guys? What physical changes would you impart to a character to represent rage? I got a really good one, but it'll segregate some people. Alicia just got a good one.
Yeah, she did.
I am so hot for her right now.
Ghost
You have
Rider.
no idea.
Kill a kill.
Kill a kill.
All things separate.
What happens in Kill a Kill?
You wear they're wearing this special suit that looks like a normal schoolgirl uniform, but when they transform it, like it's really tight, and they're like they got underboob going on.
Yeah.
Fan service.
Yeah. super
Ghost
fan
Rider's a
service.
really great example. When you oh my god. Oh yeah, I did know that. I don't make those swords. I remember looking at that stuff thinking I was feeling like a pervert trying to find the sword. Ghost Rider's a good example where your character's human and then his head just bursts into flames and is a skull. I think that's awesome.
I loved that season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, that was an amazing season. Mostly because Ghost Rider's badass.
And Ghost Rider birthed the CGI budget, which is why the second half of the season was very mundane in comparison.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So keep in mind what I'm about to say is not meant to offend anybody, but it will because people are easily offended. But maybe if your character's female and she rages, she turns to a male, or vice versa.
I'm offended.
You should be. One of my favorite animes is Ranma Half. Right, and the person changes, right? So you can change like sexes when you rage. One way or another, either male to female or female to male, as part of the transformation.
Ooh. Or you're a descendant of a mighty warrior, and when you rage, you briefly transform into them physically.
Oh, physically you get significantly bigger and big and bulkier. Oh, women, maybe you. Alicia says Sailor Starlights.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you want to talk about that?
The Sailor Starlights is in the final season of Sailor Moon, and they are 3 Sailor Scouts from outside the solar system, and to blend in with our society, they are men. They're women, but they are men when they're in their human form, whatever, and they're in a band. That's their cover. That's
Cover band, really?
yes. Well, whatever. That's one of the big reasons why it was never aired in America when Sailor Moon first came out. It's because they're guys transforming into girls, transforming back into guys. Like,
Oh.
whatever.
But anyways, that was kind of what I'm saying. There's a lot of physical things you can do with that. Maybe you're Goliath. Maybe he turns into like a giant, right? Maybe his size increases by a few feet, but isn't enough to go to the next size, right?
Yep.
Or maybe a dwarf has got his hill giant. Maybe he turns into a hill giant, right?
Yep.
That's one of the subclasses, right? The hill dwarf.
And I'm now thinking about the Berserker armor from, Berserk.
Yeah, that's a physical item though.
Right.
So how would you do that as like the part of your rage transformation?
I mean, the really visual flavor, because it does its eyes do start glowing and become very like a wolf and pharaoh like.
Oh, very cool. Ooh.
Although his Berserker armor kind of sucks though, because it usually kills whoever wears it.
That's unfortunate.
Well, it's because it shuts down like all the inhibitions the human body naturally has.
Mm-hmm.
So most wearers, when they go into the Berserker rage, push themselves to the point where they kill themselves because they.
Oh, I got it. Because it controls that limiter that they would otherwise have.
Right.
Got
And
it.
the other thing too is it also removes their feeling of pain too. So.
I can imagine like
Yeah.
they pull a Master Roshi from DBZ where they just get really big and massive, and they're like, oh, and they got their veins popping out, but then like their hair grows, so they get the really long beard and their hair gets long,
Mm-hmm.
but it stays that way. So after they get done raging, they have to shave and cut every time.
I like maybe if you're Tater says werewolves are like that. That's a good example. Maybe you're a werewolf who's somewhere in between. Maybe he's the offspring of werewolves and has more control over it. In Bloody Roar they do that, right? They've got they can change instantly into some sort of animal and gain some strength from it. But you can do a lot with that with your race, especially with some of the half races. I think we didn't touch on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You could have a person who does that. Did you see the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
He's got a really extreme version of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde going on, but. I think it's great. So there's a lot you can do with it, especially when it comes to like the half races and stuff. I love the idea of using a half orc who looks human to turn into like a big green Hulk orc. I think that's fantastic. So, and of course, once again, our symbiote. You can find the link in the chat somewhere.
Tiny caterpillar turns into a demonic butterfly.
Alicia has terrified of that stuff. So.
Butterflies?
Yes.
Really?
Like deathly afraid.
Have your list.
It's very irrational.
Mothra.
Yes. Maybe she got tortured by that as a kid. I don't know. Any other comments on rage transformations, you guys?
There's a list.
Really.
A very long list.
It can go on and on.
Like a bunny?
Like the rain.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped. I'm gonna have to leave my stuff out here because I don't know that I want to try to carry it through the rain.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast, Rage Transformations.
Oh, no. I'm wearing sandals.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
Not when my yard's full of dog shit and it's probably running liquid. So you're going to get home, you're going to have dog shit between your toes in juice form.
No.
I do have flip-flops.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. All right. So that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast, Rage Transformations.
I thought I was not being a dick.
Yep. That'll do it for our player tip of the podcast.
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by using Rage Transformations. Before we close out today, we have another gift to give away. Compliments of Jeff Stevens.
Jeff Stevens, there he is.
A small village, empty of villagers except for one boy, found sitting and weeping next to a jester's pageant wagon. The boy explains that the villagers, including his family, followed a jester into the wagon and
His socks are probably rock hard.
What madness!
Oh, wait, no, that'd be Luke's socks.
Can they save the villagers?
Don't you love the internet? That's never going to go away now.
Can you survive the madhouse of Tasha's kiss?
Brandon, who's our winner today?
Sam Nagorsky. Sam Nagorsky?
Did I already say who's our winner?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations to Sam Nagorsky. You are this week's winner.
Yay. God damn it, you guys. Really?
You can snap it in two.
two. My socks are so stiff I could use them as a boomerang.
Throw and they come back.
Oh my god.
You mean boomerang?
Like a Pokemon.
I hate all of you.
Oh my god, my face is so red right now.
This just keeps getting worse.
I know, right?
My face is red?
No, mine is. Look at how red it is.
Mine shouldn't be red 'cause I don't give a shit.
Please join us on our next episode where we will be discussing Sir Alkian's Guide to Surviving the Apocalypse.
Ooh.
Because it's always good to know how to deal with that sort of thing. By our good friend Anne Gregerson, creator of the amazing Little Heroes. If you've not checked out that episode, go back and check it out. It's an amazing product about how to play with kids at your table, and comes with very cool races and kid stuff. It's fantastic.
She
Check
has
it
a
out.
great
right.
interview.
Yeah, well, if you're excited, she'll be joining us next week. So make sure you guys show up. I'm really excited to have her on again. She's amazing. And you'll like this. What?
That's from Alicia.
My wife says, it's okay. I can't tell, you how many times I went to Justin's apartment to find baby oil next to the computer.
He lost crunchy socks too. Tater's comment: how do you survive the apocalypse? You grab your ankles and you kiss your ass goodbye.
pretty
Because
much
that's
it.
what the apocalypse is.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Brandon?
What? Oh, right. We're doing the closing shit. If you have any feedback on our tips and tricks or topics you'd like us to discuss, please send them to us. You can email them to us at critacademy@gmail.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook
And-
at Crit Academy.
And Twitch.
And
Twitch.
Twitch.
And
YouTube. And fucking everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're like Brandon Socks.
No, we're not like Brandon Socks. They're not everywhere.
We hope you enjoyed your experience here at Crit Academy.
Herpes.
And if you did,
Sorry, you have to start over.
we hope you enjoyed your experience here at Crit Academy. If you did, you can help others find the show by leaving a hopefully 5-star review on iTunes or your platform of choice. Or just send us a message telling us how much you enjoy the show. We like that a lot.
Yes, very much. If you'd like to support the show, you can become a Patreon. We give all kinds of fat loots. Once again, you can join us for live games. You can join our D&D sessions. We give away free, you get a free complimentary copy of our Unearthed tips and tricks, as well as our most recent product, which currently is the War Chanter. If you're interested, click the little links below or head on over to critacademy.com and check it all out. We got all kinds of amazing products that are just doing really well, so check them out. If you did pick them up already, please leave us a review. Brandon does full body color art commissions and shoulder line art, so definitely check that stuff out.
Do that. I actually just got a commission from one of our patrons, and I'm just waiting for some details from him.
Wonderful.
That's gonna be a fun draw.
If you're interested in winning, if you really enjoy the show, make sure to subscribe to our show at critacademy.com and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/critacademy and subscribe on YouTube so that we can help you on your future adventures.
Everything of Ace Ventura.
And be entered to win cool prizes each and every single week. Also, make sure you check out our fellowship members as well. Gabe and Jeff do an amazing job over at Interparty Conflict answering your questions. I absolutely love those guys over there. One of my favorite podcasts. D&D Character Lab are awesome. Those two guys, Dan and Garen answer your questions. No, they don't. Dan and Garen every week create amazing characters and argue whose baby's better. And make sure to check out Brute Force and Ignorance. Those guys over there make an amazing podcast, to my understanding.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
They are currently on hiatus, to my understanding, because Dan's wife is not doing so well. So if you're a religious type, send a prayer. If you're not the religious type, go over there and just let them know you're thinking about them. All right, I think that'll do it for our show today. I am your host, Justin.
Before we close out, I'd like to ask: is there anyone in our chat who is new, that's not talking?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
I'm going to go ahead and close out. You can touch on that in a second.
Okay.
I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host Brandon.
And I'm your co-host, Ian. Thanks for listening.
Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
And no one's typing. Yep. Oh well. I'll say, hey, we got a prize we can give away. Can help. But most of the people in the chat have already won a prize.
Or our patrons and already support the show and have a copy. So
Yeah.
see you guys later. Wave to everyone.
Goodbye
Bye.
now.
See you guys
Bye.
later.
Gotta
Bye.
watch the tomfuckery of the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.